Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing mobile disco setup tips that I have for all you beginners out there. Now, the guide that I have put together has a 1,500 budget, and this is for people who have got their decks, their software, laptop, music, all that kind of things, and now they're just looking to get a disco setup, get out, get bookings and things like that. First, we're going to speak about the sound/speakers section, and this area covers the speakers, microphones and mixer. For speakers, my choice on this budget would be Thoman's own brand speakers, the Box Pro DSP 115s at £490 for a pair. I've got a full review available on the Box Pro DSP's 115s down in the description. I'll link it. So for our microphones, I'd recommend a solid set like the Chord NU2, as these are great for making announcements, karaoke, singers and speeches. These come in at $89.99, and these do have to be rack mounted, but we'll discuss that as we get further into the video. Now you'll need a mixer so you can connect everything. A really solid mixer on a budget is the Yamaha MG10 with 4 mic/line inputs and 3 stereo inputs. This is a really good mixer and gives you room to play with when needed. This costs £136 and is a great mid-range mixer or a starting mixer. So lighting/booth. This area covers the lighting and the DJ screen that we will be using. For a clean look, you want to at least have a DJ screen, which is what I will recommend. Gorilla has one at good value for money at £124.95. This is a pretty simple, just the screen that goes up in front of your table or your booth that you have behind it. And for your table to go behind, I would recommend a Lifetime 4-foot by 2-foot table. This table goes to a height of 91 centimeters high, so enough to see your laptop and decks and things like that. This table costs $33.99, which is a great for a start, and you can later upgrade to a DJ stand with 2 shelves, so you've got plenty more room for any kit you upgrade. Now for our lighting, I'd recommend picking up 4 power lights, 2 for behind the booth and 2 for the lighting bar, which we'll discuss further. The power lights that I use are the Uking 36 LED power lights. These are extremely cost effective and very bright in venues. I'd put both sets of the lights on an RB mode and put the speed up for the ones on the bar so they can just do their own flashing away. A set of 4 costs $104.99, so pretty cheap for 4 power lights, but they do come all with remotes. You can DMX control them and whatever you want. For raising the lights up higher, I will recommend a Gorilla lighting stand. This raises up to 250 centimeters into the air, and the max load is 25 kilograms, which is a lot for this kind of price range. And the stand itself costs $19.99, and that includes a bag as well. So we've got our 2 effects lights now for the lighting bar, and I'm going to recommend the Equinox Vipers, as the ones I use have been discontinued, so they're quite hard to get a hold of. But I've seen these in action and they're pretty decent for just filling a room nicely and not being too bright or too fancy that you have to have a controller to use them. Just put them on a sound active and let them do their own thing. With the lighting, you probably notice you kind of cheaped out on that section, but you haven't cheaped out to the max. Like, lighting isn't the most important thing in your setup, especially as you're just starting. These are things that you can upgrade. You can get a Chauvet and all that kind of stuff down the line. But this kind of thing, if you're going for pubs and birthdays, engagement parties, etc., people don't tend to care too much about the lighting. and more about the feel and sound of the music. So we're going to move on to our cabling and accessories section. So this area we're going to cover the speaker cables, speaker stand, and the power leads required to run everything. So first I'll start with the cables, as there's a lot of cables. For speaker cables, you're going to want to pick up two 10-meter leads and two 6-meter leads, just so if you've got a short run, then you're not coiling a lot of cable up, and if you've got a long run, then you have enough cable to do so. You'll also want some long IEC leads to run from either your booth or a socket nearby to go to your speakers. So I'd recommend picking up 10-meter IEC leads just to keep it tidy, and you don't have to run extension leads to your speakers. They cost £62.74. You're going to need a few short XLR cables to plug in your mics so you can control them on separate channels in your mixer. So I pick up 4 of these from Stag for £20. And general handy power cables and connections would be a 15-meter extension lead for £20, 10 gang lead £23.92, 10-meter 4 gang extension lead. So this is just going to go up on your zip tie onto your lighting bar, and then you can have it there and have all your lights and stuff plugged in. And then 2 RCD plugs, 1706 for them, and this is just so that you can plug your extension leads and stuff like that into that, and if there is any issues, it'll just flick off and you can go back and reset it once everything's sorted out. For speaker stands, I'd highly recommend getting the K&M 2145-9 stands, which are quick release, so really fast setup times for them. These do have a reasonable price tag at £99, but are better quality than cheaper stands that will flex and possibly break with the weight of the speakers that we're putting on. You definitely don't want that, especially if your stuff is going to be on the dance floor and you've got people jumping about and whatever. For your cable bags and equipment cases, you're going to want to get a 2U rack from Gear for Music to mount your Chords wireless microphone receiver in. This just has a pocket for putting your microphones in, your antennas and things like that, and that costs $37.99. For your cables, I'd recommend picking up a 24-inch tool bag from B&Q. Really solid bag, it doesn't feel like it's going to break ever, and there's lots of pockets to put different things in. The bag costs £17, and that is from B&Q. For your brand new MG10, I'd recommend getting a Citronics equipment case for $22.92, and you'll just need to cut out the shape of the mixer and the power supply so you can set it in. And then for your lights, I'd probably just pick up a plastic storage box to protect them in transport so they're not getting damaged. And the last section on this video is the handy things to have. So some handy things to have are phono cables, which you're probably going to need and use often. So you get 4 good quality ones for connecting various different things. These cost $15.56. Another thing you're going to want to have is 3.5mm to RCA jacks for connecting a phone or other devices with a headphone jack. And 2 of these are £18 for proper quality ones. Hazard tape is extremely useful and needed, especially if your cables are going across somewhere where people are walking. You want to have them taped down and visible, so it's not just duct tape. And this tape peels off really easily and leaves no sticky residue at all. You can get 2 rolls for £12. And last on the list is some bungee ball cords. These are fantastic for wrapping the cables around the back, so you don't have to twist them around. You put put your cable down the back, put one of these at the top and one at the bottom, make sure it's tight and at the back, and you won't actually see your cables unless you're looking from the side. And a pack of them will be 20, a pack of 20 is £11.96, which is pretty decent for tidying up, and it saves your setup looking messy. So that is just a short little explainer. We've also got a blog with all this in so that you can have a look at it and read through it and see all the links to everything. So all the links to all the equipment there are on the blog. And if you've got any questions, just leave a comment. I'll make sure to get back to you. And I'd appreciate a subscribe and a like, because this took a lot of more prep work just to get all the information together and all the links and things like that and the site set up. So don't forget to subscribe, and there'll be some more stuff coming up in the future.